These results are specific to this individual only. Individual results and activity levels after surgery vary and depend on many factors including age, weight, and prior activity level. There are risks and recovery times associated with surgery, and there are certain individuals who should not undergo surgery. Only a physician can tell you if this product and associated procedure are right for you and your unique circumstances. Please consult with a physician for complete information regarding benefits, risks, and possible outcomes.
About 3 years ago, I was playing golf in Dallas, and I hit a shot, and there was a pain in my left hip that sent me straight to my knees. Relocated to the Memphis area and started doing P90X. And doing P90X, I really started to do some damage. I started to look into my different options. And if anything, if you take anything away from my story, it's that I know a lot about my options when it comes to a hip replacement. And I probably overanalyzed this decision as far as what I was going to do, when I was going to do it. You know, I put it off thinking, you know, I can get through this. You know, everybody at work had an opinion. All the doctors that I work with had opinions. I had a million different opinions in my head as to what I should or should not do, what products, what surgeon, you know, what surgical procedure. And, you know, after all of that, I came to the conclusion that I wanted to go talk to Dr. William Kurtz in Nashville about doing a SuperPath. And the more I learned about SuperPath, the more I realized, you know, I need to really get to know this well. And, you know, this may be the route I need to go, but I really need to make sure I understand the surgical procedure and really what the recovery looks like. Part of why I've been in denial and put this off is I did not want to have to go through the recovery. My dad had a hip replacement. My you know, hip problems are genetic arthritis. You know, I inherited it basically from my dad. He went through the same thing. I watched him go through a normal posterior total hip, and he had a really tough time recovering. And that was the last thing I want to do right now. I'm extremely busy with work. I can't afford to be out for 2 months, you know, recovering from a hip surgery. So when I started talking, even Dr. Kurtz was like, yeah, you can walk that afternoon, you know, of the surgery. You know, have surgery that morning, you know, I want you to walk that afternoon. What gave me the courage to go ahead and get this surgery done now was SuperPath. Bottom line, knowing that, you know, it's you know, so much less invasive, it gave me the courage to say, it's time to go get this done. And I think as more and more patients, you know, get the word out there that they can have this type of recovery versus going through what my dad went through, then they'd be crazy not to demand this from their surgeons. People are saying, are you ready? Are you ready for surgery? And I'm like, absolutely. You get to a point when you need a hip replacement that you're in so much pain all the time and you can barely do anything day to day. It's hard for me to put my shoes and socks on. You know, so yes, you know, when you get to that point, you can't wait to have surgery. And then if you know that the surgery is not going to be as bad as what people used to have to go through, and you can have a SuperPath and recover this quickly, I'm ready tomorrow. It's about 6 o'clock in the morning, and they're about to take me back. My surgery is at 7:30 this morning. The thought is that with SuperPath, I'll be walking as soon as noon, so 12:30, hopefully I'll be walking. The biggest question I've had over the last 2 days is, are you nervous? I have to admit, the fact that I'm having SuperPath and I've got Dr. Kurtz, I'm pretty relaxed. These guys are saying, hey, you seem pretty relaxed. I actually am. It's amazing what this surgery does for the patient. I think that's why I'm here talking to you guys now, is people need to understand the difference between getting a regular hip replacement versus getting a SuperPath. It's life-changing. I should be seeing you guys in about 5 hours walking with my new hip. So I'll see you all then. Thanks. Okay, so we are 3 months out from surgery, and I wanted to run through a timeline of how well my recovery went. And up front, I have to say, I'm amazed at how easy the recovery was and how great I feel today. I mean, it's truly been life-changing. I've got my quality of life back, and I'm extremely excited to share with you guys, exactly what happened from the point I had surgery. So at 4 hours after surgery, I walked in the hospital with a walker, and it was hospital policy that I had to have the walker. They had to have a nurse standing next to me. The next day, 7 a.m., bright and early, I got up and walked with a cane. So I didn't have to use the walker. They let me use a cane the next day. And again, I felt like I could walk without the cane, and I felt great the next morning. I had surgery on Thursday, and I walked on Sunday. So 3 days from the point of surgery, I put my cane in the corner and started walking on my own. Saturday night, I took one of my painkillers before I went to bed, got a good night's sleep, and on Sunday, I never took another pain med, and I never took any more pain meds from that point on, so I was only on pain medication for 2.5 days. On Monday, I was no longer on pain meds. I'm walking around the house. I was bored, so I was like, what the heck, I'm going to go ahead and work. And I worked from the house that day, and I made phone calls, got on email, but I felt completely fine. And so in the end, I only missed 2 days of work from a total hip replacement. I missed work on Thursday and Friday, had the weekend to recover, and by Monday I was ready to go. And so it's just a testimony to how great SuperPath is for the patient. I mean, the fact that you can recover that quickly and only miss 2 days of work, I couldn't be more excited, because that was the main reason I was hesitant to even take the surgery, was worried about how much time I was going to miss from work.
Our family really noticed a quality of life change. Steve just couldn't do basic things like taking our dog on a walk around the block. He couldn't go jog with me anymore. And he just limped all the time and was in lots of pain and complained about it through the night. And it was just hard to watch him go through that process. He couldn't enjoy golfing. His golf game was getting worse. He couldn't do a lot of the fun activities that we all do together. So you feel like you're sitting on the sidelines of life. The recovery process with SuperPath was amazing. It was such a rewarding experience, because I thought we would be in the hospital for at least 2 nights. We were out after the first night, driving home, and by the end of the weekend, Steve was walking up and down the stairs. We did not think he would be able to do that. Steve's quality of life is so much better, and we have SuperPath to thank for that.
I thank all of you. It truly changed my life for the better, and I really appreciate it. Thank you.